back, everybody, to another edition of MLB DFS Quick Hits. It's your Thursday, August 2nd edition. We got a 9-game slate on tap tonight with some ugly weather to discuss. Hope everybody had a good Wednesday. It was an interesting day slate and evening slate. If you were in the Slack chat, you saw the ups and downs of it all. Before we get into the slate, let's do some housekeeping real quick. Go check out our sponsor, Draft. They're online at draft.com in your app store under Draft. Pretty red app signal saying Draft. Great way to play fantasy sports. We use snake-style drafts, done in under 5 minutes. You can still get it in for the PGA Championship. We got a half hour until tee time as I record now. When you listen to it, it'll probably be almost through the end of the round. But they have golf. They have baseball live and popping. They'll have NFL during the regular season. They have hockey, basketball, so much fun. And right now, as the season's going, about another month to go, they have the best ball drafts, which are absolutely awesome. So if you're interested in trying out Draft, use promo code SDSports in the when you make your first deposit, and you'll get entry into a free $3 tournament of your choice. It can be a best ball, baseball, golf, whatever you prefer. But go check it out, draft.com, Draft in your app store, promo code SDSports. Also, if you guys can give us a rating and review in whatever form you listen to it, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spreaker, so on and so forth, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, wherever, we'd much appreciate it. Really help us and move this thing along even more as it grows. And last but not least, if there's anybody interested in writing for the football season, basketball season, any sports whatsoever for DFS, regular fantasy, gambling, just news in general, we are always looking for more writers. So go to the website. There's a link that says Write for the Sports DGens. Click on that, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. With that being said, thanks for listening to all the garbage. Let's get into what you're here for, the 9-game slate tonight. Let's look at your totals real quick, as there are 3 day games. We'll start with the night slate, though. Reds at Nationals, 7.5. Marlins at Phillies, 8.5. Braves at Mets, 8.5. Yankees at Red Sox, 10. Orioles at Rangers, 10.5. Padres at Cubs, waiting on that because it's typical Wrigley weather. Brewers at Dodgers, 7. Giants at D-backs, 7.5. And then Blue Jays, Mariners, they're bringing in a spot starter there, so waiting on the total in that one. So you got a couple really high totals there in Boston and Texas, and you should have a decent one in Seattle, I'd imagine, but we shall see. Watch the weather, as the Midwest and East Coast is a mess again. Atlanta at the Mets. Winds blowing out to left field about 13 miles an hour, but you got about 35. It ranges anywhere throughout the night of like 20% to 55%. Hovers around 35% most of the time. So hopefully that misses. Just pay attention to that. Miami at Phillies, really nasty. It hovers around 45 to 50% most of the night. Blowing out to center at 11 miles an hour. And that's why we really wanted to target a one Nick Pivetta in. So that's frustrating. Hopefully that clears up for us tonight. Cincinnati at Washington, about 25% chances. And then Yankees at Boston, winds blowing out to left center field at 14 miles an hour, but not a real threat of rain there. Your only birthday boy today, if you're playing the day slate, is Paul DeYoung of the St. Louis Cardinals. So we don't have to worry about that in the evening slate. Now let's get to your pitching on this 9-gamer. You have 4 guys over 10K. We're focusing on the 3 over 11. You got Mad Max Scherzer, $13,000 at home against the Cincinnati Reds, going off a 41-point performance his last time out. He used to be a double-digit K machine. Finally got back on that horse with 11 Ks in last night's outing. He'll be going up against a Cincinnati team that strikes out 21.2% of the time. He's a minus 275 home favorite. Everything lines up beautifully for one Mad Max Scherzer. They have some guys that don't strike out as much with Votto and Scooter and company, but overall not too bad. They have the lowest team total at 2.34. Lefties 250, righties 284, and a 146 ISO for the Reds versus right-handed pitching. So if you want to pay all the way up, Mad Max is the best option on tonight's slate. He is a great choice. Next up, you have Clayton Kershaw at 11-6 if you want to be a little contrarian here. He's at home against the Milwaukee Brewers. Kershaw coming off a great start against Atlanta, 31.1 DraftKings points. It's been weird with him. 101 pitches, 88, 108, 89 since his return from the DL. And then before that, 74, which you'd expect, 68, 55. But since he's been tuned up, those last 4 starts, 101, 88, 108, 89. He's got 31.1, 17.3, 18.4, 25.7. You want that 25.7 or better. And that 17.3 2 starts ago was against the Brewers, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, but only 1 was earned, and 5 strikeouts. So he's an interesting play tonight. Definitely a GPP candidate against Milwaukee, as they can be hot and cold. But they do have a lot of guys that can hit righties, and they aren't the worst offense in the world. As you saw, even Rich Hill, he pitched well against them, but not great. They strike out 21% of the time. First left-handed pitching. They have the second lowest team total on the slate at 2.7. Lefties 338, righties 281 off Kershaw. The Brewers have a 299 WOBA, which is really, really bad. Average at best, basically below average, 150 ISO versus lefties. So they're not great versus lefties. So if you want to pivot to Kershaw at 11.6, you definitely can. He's just been a roller coaster ride since his return. You don't know what you're going to get at that price point, which is frustrating. But he does make for a GPP pivot, as you're either going to go all the way up to Scherzer, or you're going to go to my favorite guy in this 11K and above range, and that is Zach Greinke, who's been absolutely outstanding of late. Coming off 26.2 at the Dodgers, he got a 44.2 and a 32.9 before that. So 3 outstanding starts for Greinke, but overall even, he had a 10.4, an 18.2, and then a 27, 29.7. Been really, really good for about the last month or so. He's faced the Giants once this year, 7 innings, 1 earned, only 2 Ks for 19.4 DraftKings points. They are striking out a little more these days with some of the changes they've made to the lineup. So keep that in mind. As a team, the Giants strike out 24% of the time versus right-handed pitching. Everything lines up really, really nice for Greinke, because that Giants offense has just been abysmal since the All-Star break. Absolutely horrible. It hurts my eyes watching them as a fan. They have a team total of 3.2, which is the third lowest on the slate. Lefties 319, righties 318. But the Giants have 308 WOBA, not good, and a very bad 143 ISO versus right-handed pitching. Zach Greinke at 11.2 to me is the best point per dollar guy in this top 3 area here. I think he's in the best spot price-wise. I think he can compete with Scherzer on this level. Plus, there will not be a weather concern, as the dome should be closed in Arizona, because it's going to be like 112 degrees there. So, Greinke is my guy up here. So, if you're going to rank the top 3, I got Greinke 1, Scherzer 2, Kershaw 3. Scherzer's phenomenal. Cash game is no problems. If I'm going GPP, though, I'm going to go save $1,800, and I'm going to go to Zach Greinke. Now you slide on down. If you want to be contrarian, you can look at a Mad Bum versus Arizona. I'm not going there just because they do have some very talented right-handed bats in that lineup. They do strike out 23% of the time versus left-handed pitching. So if you want to be contrarian, and if there's a bunch of rainouts and you got to pivot off guys, I'm mentioning Mad Bum as an option here. The D-backs have a 4.3 total, lefties 257, but righties 329. And they have a 323 WOBA and a 181 ISO, which are both pretty good against left-handed pitching. So they're no slouch. People are going to say, well, the humidor is going to help Bumgarner. And Bumgarner, like Kershaw, since he's returned from the DL, very up and down. He's had some really, really good starts and some really, like, what the heck is that starts from Bum. But you're paying 9.6, not 11.6 like Kershaw. I'd rather gamble on Bumgarner than I would on Kershaw, if that makes any sense to you. So I want to mention Bumgarner as a spot in there as a pivot, or if off of rain delays, or if you want to get really contrarian, if you're making a bunch of lineups, have a little Bumgarner in your life and see how that goes for you. Now, the one I'm praying to God, the rain misses Philadelphia. Maybe he'll be super chalky, so it's not worth it. But Nick Pivetta is $8,500 at home against the Miami Marlins. He's faced the Marlins once this year, 5 2/3, 4 hits, nowhere, 9 Ks for 32.4 DraftKings points. His last few starts, 12, 9, and 7 strikeouts. In those starts, 22-7, 17-2, 23-4. Thanks to those strikeouts, because he's given up 5, 4, and 3 earned runs in those 3 starts, and he still has 17 or more points, so 23 or more in 2 of those 3. He's going up against the Fish, who we already said he's pitched very well against in his first start this year. They strike out 23% of the time against right-handed pitching. He's got a 29% K rate, 45% ground ball rate. The Marlins have a 3.65 total, 4th lowest on the slate. Lefties do hit 350, but righties 272, a 300 WOBA, and an abysmal 126 ISO versus right-handed pitching. I absolutely love Nick Pivetta tonight. I think a lot of people will love Nick Pivetta tonight. He's my favorite pitcher tonight overall in the entire slate. If you wanted to not pay up and save money on bats, I go to Nick Pivetta over and over and over again, but watch the weather. That's the downside of all of this. And since there's weather concerns, I'm going to mention a guy like Jhoulys Chacin as a contrarian type play at $8,000 at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, that Dodgers offense is scary. You saw how Chase Anderson took care of business yesterday, and Chacin's been much better than Chase this year. He's coming off of 26.8 points at the Giants. He had 31 against the Nats. So a couple back-to-back really good starts. He's had his hiccups like he always does, but then some other really good starts against Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Chicago, and some others along the way. So he's been very, very good at 8K for Chacin. A Dodgers team that does strike out 22% of the time versus right-handed pitching. Sure, they've made a few changes to that lineup of late if you haven't paid attention to that. But even with Chacin on the mound, they have a 4.3 total, which is like halfway, a little less than halfway on the overall slate. So he is getting some respect in this matchup. Lefties do hit 359. That's always been a thing with Chacin. Left-handed bats over and over again. So you got to be careful about stuff like that. But a righties hit 298. And as a GPP type play, Chacin is very interesting at $8,000. Only other guy I'm looking at, because I'm not going below this guy at 7K, is Mike Montgomery of the Chicago Cubs at home against the San Diego Padres. He's very, very tilting. He's very, very up and down. He's went 93 pitches his last time out. He's gone at least 84 in all of his starts since he got back in the rotation. But the problem is minus 1.2 at St. Louis. Home against St. Louis, 13-3. At the Giants, minus 0.2. Against Cincy, 3.3. Not ideal. He's been very, very good overall this year, but this last little run through the rotation has not been great. He's $7,000 versus San Diego Padres, who strike out 25% of the time versus left-handed pitching. He's a minus 190 home favorite, which is outstanding. He has a 53% ground ball rate. Just a lot of contacts. He only strikes out 14.5% with an 8.9% swinging strike rate. It's not a ton of Ks, but maybe the Padres help offset that at $7,000. And when you look at the Padres, lefties 337, righties 320 versus Montgomery. But as a team, the Padres are 296 WOBA, which is not good at all. So if you're going cheap, I'm going Montgomery. Hopefully, as things unfold today, we'll find other guys to target down there. But at this moment, there's nothing I like down there at all. So recapping your pitching all the way up top, I got Greinke 1, Scherzer 2, Kershaw 3, and then in the middle, Pivetta, Montgomery, and Chassin is how I'd rank that one. Let's get to the bats on this 9-game slate. Kicking it off with the catcher's position with some high-priced options that we've seen a lot of lately. You like Realmuto at 49, but Yasmani Grandal versus Chassin at 46. Grandal went deep yesterday. Another left-handed bat you could use there. Wilson Contreras versus Robbie Erlin. Cubs are going to be very, very popular tonight. When you look at, we're still waiting on their team total, but lefties 311, righties 275, surprisingly versus Erlin. But I like some of these Cubs right-handed bats here with Contreras at 4,500. But you can slide on down like a Kurt Suzuki at 38 versus Vargas, or if you get Tyler Flowers in there, even cheaper. He's at a lovely $3,300 versus Jason Vargas. I think the right-handed catchers for the Braves are in a great spot versus Vargas. Love the target Vargas. Obviously, hope the game plays. But wind blowing out, the Braves have a 4-6, maybe a 4-7 total. Lefties 398, righties 368. So give me some of the catchers there for the Braves. A little farther down, you could look at an Austin Romine at 36 versus Johnson. I'd rather not pay that much for an Austin Romine, but he's there if you need him. Go farther down, got Caleb Joseph against Giovanni Gallardo at 33. I can definitely get behind that as one of the cheaper options on this slate. Farther down, like an Austin Hedges at 3,100 versus Mike Montgomery. Remember, I said a lot of contact. If you're not using Montgomery, the Padres can give you some salary relief, especially in your GPPs. We'll get to like Renfroe and company later, but the catcher's position and Austin Hedges definitely comes into play for you there. Then when you get below 3K, it gets a little dicey. Like Jeff Mathis will be starting for the D-backs. He's Greinke's catcher. 2,800 versus Bumgarner. You probably want to try something else. Just throwing that out there to you. But just wait and see what the lineups bring out for the rest of the options tonight, as there will be a few that pop up. First base, you got Freddie Freeman at 51 versus Vargas. We did mention how lefties are hitting Vargas better than righties this year, even though everyone's hitting Vargas. So Freeman's still in a really good spot there. Joey Gallo, I love. He's up to $4,700, which is crazy. But first base outfield, at home and hitter-friendly Arlington, where the ball should be flying out, going up against the trash man, Andrew Cashner. He's a big contact guy, not a big strikeout guy. So Gallo is a good GPP home run play today. Daniel Murphy, coming off his double dong game, he's first base, second base eligible against Tyler Mahle at $4,500. I respect Mahle. Mahle, I guess, could have been a punt GPP play, but at the same time, I like the way this Nationals offense is going. They currently have the second highest total at 5.2. Lefties 379, righties 307. I think the Nats are in for another big night tonight, so a guy like Daniel Murphy at 45 is intriguing in that matchup. Max Muncy, 44 versus Chassin, someone to take a look at as well. When you slide on down, though, you get to the 4K range there below, like a Justin Smoke, who's kind of heating up the last week or so. He's averaging 7 in his last 10. 3, 14, 3, 7, 10, 11, 0, 13. Kind of slowly getting it going, 7 or more most of those starts there. He's going up against King Felix, who really doesn't have it anymore. A lot pitch to contact for Felix. Lefties hitting 386, righties 352. So the Jays could be one of those kind of quieter stacks you could look at. You can get smoked for $4,100 in that matchup. If you slide on down like a Carlos Santana against Pablo Lopez at 4,100 is in play for you as well. The Phillies very, very live against Miami tonight. When you look at Philadelphia, team total of 4.85. Very, very interesting spot there for the Phils. Going down a little farther, you got like Steve Pearce, first base outfield eligible versus the lefty Sabathia. We know he'd love targeting Pearce versus left-handed pitching. The Red Sox have a 5.15 team total. Lefties 273, righties 316 off CC. CC does limit the hard contact, but in a matchup like this, you got to love a guy like Pierce for $4,000. If you don't go smoke, Kendrick Morales also heating up. He's $4K if you want to save $100 against King Felix. And most will go to smoke over Morales, so you can differentiate yourself there if you so choose. Going below 3K or 4K, Chris Davis at 3,800 versus Giovanni Gallardo. I know it's not sexy with Chris Davis, but in the GPP, he does play in that ballpark. The Baltimore Orioles have a 4.95 total, currently fifth highest on the slate. Lefties hit Gallardo at 399 average, righties 348. So you can't completely ignore Crush Davis, who has played better of late. On his last 10 games, he's averaging 10.7 a game. So he's definitely getting it done out there, and he's got that home run swing starting to show up. So at 3,800 versus Gallardo, you can't just sleep on him like we have in times past. You go down farther, like a Justin Bourne, a GPP versus Pivetta at 37 is always worth a look. Luke Voigt got called up by the Yankees, so be careful. He is a power righty bat, lots of strikeouts, but a power righty bat. He's $3,400 versus Brian Johnson of the Red Sox. So if Voigt cracks the lineup, he's a value first baseman for you, or a punt. I'd say more punt than value, but he's an option, is what it comes down to at $3,400. Going over to the second base position, you got Javi Baez all the way up to $5,800 in a phenomenal spot here versus Robbie Erlin. Javi 16 more points last night. We talked about him in the Slack chat yesterday. Everyone was like, shortstop sucks, shortstop. I'll play Javi Baez at 52. Just play him. The guy is absolutely insane right now. 16, 26, 9, 16, 17. That is a nice 5-game stretch there. And I think double digits are coming again tonight against Robbie Erlin. So $5,800. If you can pay up at second base or shortstop, I would go to Javi Baez in a phenomenal spot tonight. Ozzie Albies versus Jason Vargas at 5K is nowhere to sleep either. If you want to save $800, absolutely love it. We know how he loves to hit his left-handed pitching, so keep an eye on that one. But like guys like Rugi Odor in that matchup in Texas, again, it's a high total, beautiful hitting weather there in Texas against Andrew Kashner at 49. Keep an eye on Rugi, who's been popping balls out left and right as well. Love me some Gleyber Torres at 47 versus Brian Johnson. I loved him yesterday. He double-donged, got you 34 DraftKings points on the day slate. When you look at the Yanks, a 4-9 total, lefties 270, but righties 341 off Brian Johnson. So a guy like Gleyber Torres at 47, very, very much in play for you there. Mentioned Daniel Murphy already. Asdrubal Cabrera in a nice spot there, second base shortstop at 4,400 against Pablo Lopez. A good play for you there as well. I feel like Pablo pitched a few days ago, and DraftKings has him here, so it could be Garrett Richards, but I think it's Pablo Lopez. It's going to be very, very interesting to see who that is. Yeah, MLB.com has Pablo Lopez, so that's who we're rolling with tonight. So, yeah, Asdrubal Cabrera at 44, very much in play for you in that matchup. You're sliding on down a little closer to 4, like a D. Gordon leading off. You can look at Scooter Gennett's 4,100 and a GPP type play there. At the 4K and below, though, you got Cesar Hernandez only 4K versus Pablo leading off. If you're doing a Philly stack, it's very, very lively. Even as a one-off, I don't hate it. You just want more power with your one-offs, so you could look that way. Jonathan Scope versus Kershaw at 39 on GPP. I could look at that as well. Hoping for that long ball there against Kershaw. Sliding on down like a Hernan Perez also at GPP at 3,600 if you want to be contrarian. Other than that, though, it's very, very bleak down here. You're going to want to see lineups, see what else pops up. Maybe a Chase D'Arnaud at 3K. I'd rather not target Greinke if we don't have to. And D'Arnaud's usually playing against lefties, not righties. Third base, Rendon at 47 versus Mollay's in play for you tonight. He's been hot all year, and he picked it right up when he came off the paternity leave yet again. Miguel Andujar is an interesting play at 4,500 versus Brian Johnson, so keep an eye on that. Mentioned Muncy already. If you are fading Bumgarner, Eduardo Escobar at 43 is a very nice play. Switch hitting, going to be out there in the middle of the lineup. Very nice play there if you're fading Bumgarner. Sliding on down, third base isn't as loaded as before, but like Johan Camargo at 4,100 versus Vargas, I do like that quite a bit. Christian Villanueva, we know he drops bombs on lefties. He's 3,900 versus Montgomery. Maikel Franco is 3,900, and Adrian Beltre at 38. Those are two very, very solid third basemen at the mid-price tier that you should be looking at if you're going to save some cash at the position. You're looking at Franco, you're looking at Beltre, you're looking at Camargo. Those are some three nice ones there in the middle. Other than that, like Hervis Solarte, second base, third base at 3,600 is an option for you. A Charlie Culberson, third base alpha at 36 if you want to get weird. Only if you want to get weird, you look at that. Otherwise, like a Wilmer Flores at 3,200 versus Fultonevich, first base, third base. We prefer Flores versus lefties, but he's still in play, hit in the middle of the order. And then your punt, he's second base and third base. He's 3,100. You can probably use him at second base instead of third base. Jeff McNeil of the Mets, he's one of their higher-end prospects. hit his first home run a couple days ago. He's all or nothing, it seems like. 0, 18, 2, 5, 0, 11, 2, 3. So, in a good matchup versus Fulte. Lefties can hit him well, so still get McNeil at that price point. Going to the shortstop position, again, Javi Baez at 58 is outstanding. Trey Turner at 52 keeps getting it done, getting on, running. He's very, very good versus right-handed pitching, so if you ever want to be contrarian, Trey Turner is the way to go because no one pays this much for him. You got Machado at 5K is always in play for you there. Jerks and Profar could be an interesting one at $4,600, but swinging a good stick. He's third base shortstop eligible. I prefer him at shortstop over third base. Asdrubal Cabrera, again, mentioned him at 4,400. I like him at second or short, wherever you want to fit him in. He's a very good play there. Mentioned Eduardo Escobar earlier at 4,300. A guy like Elvis Andrus, swinging a good stick. He's 43, a part of that Texas barrage against Andrew Kashner. You can look that direction as well. Johan Camargo, already talked about him at 4,100. Dropping below 4K. Now you got Addison Russell. If he's got a good spot in the order at 3,700, you can definitely look that direction. Same with Dansby Swanson. If for some reason they mix things up tonight and he's not hitting at the bottom of the order at 36 versus Vargas, he becomes a cheaper option for you as well. Other than that, maybe no, I'm not even going to say his name. You don't want to go there. So check your lineups and see what else pops up. You might get a couple other cheapies, but lately you have to pay at shortstop, so keep an eye on that. Heading to the outfield where it will be loaded as always. You got guys like Mookie Betts versus CC. JD Martinez is outstanding versus CC. 6K, 57 respectively. I'd go JD against the lefty, but you can't go wrong with either. When you slide down, you got Harper and Soto at 54 and 53. Love me some Soto, as everyone will go to Harper if they have the choice. So look at that. Rhys Hoskins at 52 versus Pablo Lopez. Absolutely love it. I think it's a phenomenal play if you don't want to pay all the way to the top, but you still want one of these 5K guys. Hoskins at 52 is very, very nice in that matchup. When you slide on down, don't sleep on Aaron Hicks versus a lefty switch hitter. Very, very good against left-handed pitching at $4,900 as the Yankees Red Sox looks to be a back-and-forth battle tonight, so keep an eye on that. Sliding on down like Joey Gallo at 47, already talked about that. Love me some Ronald Acuna Jr. at 46 versus Jason Vargas. They haven't really raised his price much. As long as he stays in this mid-4 range, he's very, very useful every day and in a great spot versus Jason Vargas tonight. Don't sleep on that. Adam Jones at 45 versus Gallardo. Will Myers at 45 versus Montgomery. Both very interesting plays in that matchup. Nelson Cruz has just been straight fire. He's $4,500 versus the youngster Santos of Toronto. So look at some Nelly Cruz at 45 as well in his matchup. In a GPP, if Jock Jams is leading off versus Chacin at 44, definitely go there. And Odubel Herrera at 44, I can see him taking Pablo Lopez deep tonight in a great spot here. Odubel, you know, Mr. Bat Flips himself, could be hitting number 20 tonight off of Pablo Lopez. GPP, Hunter Renfroe versus lefty. We talk about it all the time. He's $4,300. He did it the other night on the 30th. Was it Monday against the Giants? They had Derek Holland out there, I believe, or Suarez, and he went deep on him. That's what he does versus lefties. So GPP-wise, look at that. Grichuk's 43 versus King Felix. If you're putting some J's together, he should be a part of that madness. Yeah, Brandon Nimmo and Michael Conforto at 4,200 each versus Fulte. You know, lefties versus Fulte. You can definitely target that. The Mets, 3.9 team totals. Lefties 309, righties 285. As Fulte's been much better this year, but you can still look that way if you choose, weather permitting. Sliding on down, Steven Souza at 41 and be contrarian versus Bumgarner. You can. Curtis Granderson at 41 versus King Felix. I like that quite a bit. Toronto, when you're looking at them tonight, we're waiting on their team total still, but lefties 386, righties 352 Felix. So we already talked about that one, especially from the left side. So Grandy Man at 41 in play for you in that one. Lorenzo Cain in your GPPs at 41 versus Kershaw as well. Very interesting. But Nick Williams 4,100 versus Pablo Lopez. If he cracks the lineup in a good spot, go that direction. Sliding on down some more. Like a Manny Margot at $3,900 if you want to be weird in the outfield versus Montgomery. He does hit lefties well, so keep an eye on that one. Bellinger at 39 versus Chacin, GPP only. Trey Mancini's heating up. He'll be 3,800 versus Yavani Gallardo. Check out on him. And then Adam Duvall should be making his Braves debut because he's supposed to platoon versus lefties. He's 39 versus Vargas, so Duvall in a good spot there to crush Vargas for a bit. I'm just wondering, do they sub him out when a right-handed pitcher comes in? That's my concern in that one. And we don't know what they're going to do because it hasn't happened yet. So keep an eye on that. When you get down to the mid-3Ks, I mentioned Hernan Perez, if you want to be weird, at 36. Charlie Culberson at 36. These aren't sexy. Lately, the outfield, it stops about 37 of late, and that really, really sucks because you're always looking for that value, and it's just not there these days. Maybe a Steven Duggar at 34 versus Greinke if you have to punt. Jose Perella, second base outfield at 34 versus Montgomery if you need to look for a punt there. Hopefully some stuff comes out in some lineups because this is really, really bleak yet again. Another night of just nastiness down here. I'm down to 3K now. There's really nothing. Like I mentioned, Alex Gordon yesterday, he paid off for you. He had a big night. But really nothing down here. We'll have to check lineups. We'll talk about it in the Slack chat. So come join us there. See what pops up. But outfield's about a 3,700 and above position yet again. And I'm really wondering why DraftKings is going that direction. So recapping your pitching real quick. Up top, I got Greinke 1, Scherzer 2, Kershaw 3. Down below, I got Pivetta 1, Montgomery 2, Chacin 3. A lot of great hitting environments tonight. Go attack the Texas-Baltimore game. New York, Boston are your two high totals. You'll have much, much more. The Nationals in a phenomenal spot versus Tyler Mahle. The Phillies versus Pablo Lopez could be very, very interesting. The Braves versus Vargas is outstanding. The Blue Jays versus King Felix can be very contrarian. So a lot of ways to go tonight. Cubs versus Erlin, lots and lots of ways. Let's cover your BVP on this 9-game evening slate for you here. JT Realmuto 3 for 6, 3 doubles off Nick Pivetta. Billy Hamilton 3 for 7, 2 doubles, 2 steals off Scherzer. Tucker and Votto have taken Scherzer deep, but not much else to look at there. Mookie Betts hitting 429 off CC, 12 for 28, 3 doubles. Sandy Leone has a homer. Steve Pearce, 11 for 36, 3 doubles, 2 homers. Ian Kinsler's taken him deep twice. Bogarts has taken him deep as well. As we go down even farther, Nick Markakis has 2 home runs off Jason Vargas. Flowers and Suzuki have each taken him deep, and so has Ronald Acuna Jr. So things to like on that one. Mark Trumbo, 6 for 11 with a double off Gallardo. Tim Beckham and Danny Valencia have taken Gallardo deep. Cody Bellinger, 4 for 10 with a triple and a homer off Chacin. Chris Taylor, Jock Jams, and Yasmani Grandal all taking him deep. Matt Kemp's taking him deep 3 times. As a team, they're only hitting 230 off of Chacin, though, so keep that in mind. Christian Yelich, 7 for 14 with a homer off of Kershaw. Braun, 11 for 35, 2 doubles and a homer. Paul Goldschmidt in 344 off Bumgarner, 21 for 61, 5 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. Jeff Mathis, 3 for 4 with a triple and a homer. Pollock's hitting 273 with 4 doubles, a triple, and 3 homers. So you can get weird with the D-backs if you want. They know Bumgarner well. He's not throwing as good as he once was. McCutcheon hitting 273 off Greinke, 9 for 33 with 5 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Pence has 2 homers, but he sucks now. Crawford, Panic, Longo, all have homered off of Greinke. And then you got guys like Kendrys Morales hitting 283 off Felix, 15 for 53, 4 doubles, and a homer. The Grandy man has 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers off of King Felix. So a couple guys to look at there as well. So good luck on this 9-game slate. Hope everybody enjoys it. The WGC teeing off this morning. So a lot to enjoy there. We'll have more coming up for you this week at thesportsdjs.com. Again, if you want to write for the site, let us know. Hit us up on the website, slide into our DMs, whatever you prefer. Come join the fun. But check us out on Twitter at thesportsdjs or at thesportsdjs.com. Go give us a rating and review. Go check out draft, all that good stuff. But more importantly, let's make some money tonight. Let's get those green screens popping. Watch the weather. Be very, very cognizant of the weather. Join us in the Slack chat. We talk about all the pivots. We talk about all that stuff in there all throughout the day. Guys are chatting. Guys are already chatting this morning, congratulating each other as one guy finished 7th in the $1.20 max last night. So come check us all out, and I'll be with you again tomorrow. But this was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Thursday, August 2nd edition. I'm out.